How's it going, YouTube? My name's James from jcfitnessexperience.com, and today what we're going to do is have a quick discussion in terms of a question that I'm often asked at the gym, and just various people that have a chat with me. They often ask, how do I get those elusive six-pack abs? Now, I can understand, it looks great, it's fantastic to have the six-pack abs, but what we need to really break down is what makes up those abdominals, what makes up the six-pack, and what makes up the other parts of that region. I like to refer to it, and I make sure my clients refer to it as the core. It's the core, it's the main centre point of the body, and it helps stabilising other muscles, it helps just your general posture, and just everything that you can think of. So with regards to the core, what we've got is a number of different muscle groups. We've got the rectus abdominis. This is often referred to as the six-pack, those six sort of muscular points in front of the stomach. We also have internal and external obliques. We've got transversus abdominis. We've got the erector spinae, which a lot of people often forget. It's your back muscle. It's a long muscle up your spine. And again, this is relating to the core, and that is largely why I do call it the core, because when you just call it abs, you often think of the front muscles, the mirror muscles, as we like to talk about. So, erector spinae, and another back muscle, lower back, is the quadratus lumborum. So, in a nutshell, that's what makes up the core. But from that, what does that mean for you? It can mean a lot of things. First of all, it's important to work your body in all planes of movement, okay? Your body isn't just going to be for just doing sit-ups, sit-ups, sit-ups. What can happen with that? Directly hitting abs constantly. I see a lot of people doing it. I do try and advise to stay away from this method, is to do crunch after crunch after crunch. I'm sure you've all seen them. I hope you're not one of them. If you are, stop. It's not really going to benefit you massively if you want to then see your abs. Mainly because, like I've discussed before, you're going to be working just the rectus abdominis muscles, the front muscles, constantly, and this is going to cause a tightening in that area. What can then happen, it can stretch the opposing muscles, and this can therefore affect posture in quite a negative way. You might often see people sort of, quite sort of bent over. This can be due to tight sort of abdominal muscles. So it's important, first of all, to hit your body in all different planes of movements and all the muscle groups. So therefore, twisting movements, so rotating the torso, things like flexing, which would be that sort of movement, and extending as well, so bringing your body back into a nice neutral alignment. So by working your body in all different planes of movement just ensures that you're really working in a functional movement pattern. And the movement pattern, day-to-day activities, bending down to pick something up, it's all going to be going through your core. So by ensuring that you're working the body using different movement patterns, it's just going to help your body function a lot more efficiently. So that sort of explains briefly what the core does, its functions, the different parts of the core muscles that make it all up. So think of an apple core. You've got the central point and then the actual flesh around it, okay? So we work exactly a similar way. What a lot of people do as well, we've discussed hitting the core, hitting the abs through crunches after crunches. What would be a much better and more effective way is, burning calories. The fact of the matter is, everyone does have the six-pack muscles, okay? Everyone has got a six-pack. You just probably can't see it. If that's the case, what's happening is you've got body fat that's actually covering it. Now, to reveal those elusive abs, what you need to do is stop with the crunching after crunching after crunching. The important thing to think about when losing body fat is you want to maximise calorie expenditure, and quite frankly this won't be achieved through lots of crunches. So like I said before, everyone does have a six-pack, it's just covered by layers of fat. So what needs to be done? Well, I believe you need to have a balanced workout program. This contains what we've discussed before, resistance machines or resistance free weights, targeting the whole body, and also an element of cardiovascular activity. So things that are going to be really working your lungs, your heart, and generally your functioning of the internal organs. So, as well as that, you need to then have a calorie controlled diet, okay? Nutrition plays a huge part in lowering body fat. You've got to be eating lots of good quality proteins. You've got to be eating the right kind of carbohydrates at the right sort of times. And fat. Don't fear fat. I'll do a video in the future with regards to fat and its purpose and its necessity within the body. It is just a case of choosing the right types of fat at the right times. So that sums up in a nutshell, ways of which to get the elusive six-pack with the summer coming up. You need to have a controlled diet. You need to cut out all the sugary crap. And you also need to ensure that you've got a workout plan that's going to be targeting all the major muscle groups through resistance-based training. Another great way of doing it is incorporating compound exercises within your workout plan. Compound exercises are a great way to actually improve core strength as they combine multiple joints and muscles within different moving patterns or movement patterns. So for example, the squat, the deadlift, good mornings, all things like that. Even doing a bench press, engaging the abdominal region is going to work your core, okay? So if you don't directly hit it, don't worry about it, okay? You don't need to directly do Russian twist after Russian twist, back extensions after back extensions. As long as you've got compound exercises within your workout plan, then that should be absolutely fine, okay? Final point before I leave you is just with regards to the abdominals. A lot of people say if I don't work the abdominals, then I won't have them. Now, to an extent, I can see where you're coming from. What really is meant by that is if you work your abdominals and the core directly, yes, it will bring out the muscular group more if you have low enough body fat. I believe the body fat has to be around 10% or lower to actually see your abdominals. That's something I've read. If I'm incorrect on that, then I do apologise. But that's something I've read, and I believe it's quite common knowledge. So yes, you can target directly, but ensure you're doing rotational movements like a Russian twist, back extensions, and other things like that. Don't just focus on the crunch after crunch, because you will neglect those lower back muscles and you will affect your posture and it won't look pretty. So if you do want to target your abdominals directly, do a nice balanced workout program, hitting your obliques, your rectus abdominis, targeting things that are going to help with your rectus spinae, your back muscles. And hopefully that will lead you on your way to revealing your abs, if that's something you do want to achieve. By all means, don't think that, well, I don't have low enough body fat to see abs. What's the point in training? What's the point in doing workouts and exercises that are going to help it? The fact is, core strength is essential in all aspects of life, okay? You need core strength to do daily activities correctly. For example, if you had absolutely no core strength at all, how would your body even stay upright? You'd be bent over, you'd be sluggish, and all things like that. So don't think just because you've got higher body fat that core isn't important. It is extremely important, and it will just help with your day-to-day functioning and your movement patterns and just generally your functional living. So if you do get to a low enough body fat where you can see your abdominals, yes, perhaps do a bit more that directly target all your core muscles, because doing that, like any muscle with hypertrophy, it will increase the size of the muscle, so they will be more visible. But that's pretty much it. I really appreciate everyone's support on the Facebook, YouTube and Twitter community pages. And until the next time, train hard but train smart. Cheers, guys.